Welcome back to AZ Strut and Jared's Fun Finds. Today I have a really exciting bunch of things that all came in together. I'm a bit of an uber nerd for this fun music format that kind of went the way of the dinosaur. It's called mini disc. A lot of people, when they hear mini disc, they think that we're just talking about those small CDs that you would get sometimes with, like, I don't know, AOL online mini CDs. That is not what we're talking about. This is a mini disc. It actually kind of resembles how floppy disks used to be back in the day where you would insert them. But this is a music format that was kind of popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was really big in Japan, not so much in the US. And for whatever reason lately, we've had some really cool models come in the door. So I thought I would go and show you some of the cool ones that came in. This is a Sony, probably the better of the brands that made this. This one, haven't tested it yet. I haven't tested any of these yet because I'm excited to see how these operate, but I do have the power cable ready. The battery was in here, or still is in here, but long dead, of course. It does have a standard headphone plug. A lot of these did have inline controller remotes. We didn't get that with this, but this one is one of the more recent, or not recent, there's nothing recent with minidisc, but one of the final models that they had. It didn't have this really cool feature that they had right at the end called NetMD. So you could transfer MP3s from your computer onto the minidisc. But this did have something called MDLP, and that gives you the ability to put almost 4 CDs worth of music onto one disc. It did lower the quality a little bit, but I prefer just getting the standard size of audio that you would get. It was the same as any other CD, about 74 to 80 minutes. All right, I have one almost like this at home, so I actually know this model or something like it. I know how to use them. Let's see if this works. I brought in from home my own mini disc because we didn't get any mini discs. We just got the players, so I brought my own disc from home. I'm a nerd that way. This is my Best of Nirvana mix. A mix that will not need updating anytime soon. The band broke up. Okay, so I've got it in, and it's reading the disc. 74:44. I took advantage of every minute of disc space I could. Got a little pair of borrowed headphones here. Let's see how it sounds. I'm excited. Okay, Kurt Cobain, take it away. Oh, yeah. Oh, this sounds good. It's so loud in here. Am I yelling? Is it, what? Wow. Well, that one worked. That was awesome. Okay, first test, really good. Another thing I like about these with mini discs is they're recordable and re-recordable, and you can put the text of the audio of whatever the song is right in there. And this is digitally recordable and re-recordable pretty much indefinitely. So almost like on a hard drive, you could put songs on, delete a couple tracks and take them off. This would function that same way. You could rearrange track orders and everything. Okay, so that's it for this one. Let's move on to this other one. This brand is Sharp. This is not a brand I ever personally used, but it gets the job done. They're not as valuable. This one did come with the remote control, which is kind of neat. They didn't have wired remotes very often, but they did have these inline control remotes, which I thought were pretty neat. And then this one does also have a little backlight on the remote. It kills your battery a little bit, but whatever. The other thing I like about this model, even though the brand isn't one I would normally have liked, I like the loading mechanism for the mini disc. This has a slot driven in the front. So when you want to insert a disc, you just slide it in to the slot. And it does say hello, table of contents reading. It reads a table of contents like a hard drive. And TOC error A. That is not a good sign. Let's see if it'll actually even play. And then it shut off on me. And then now it's rebooting itself. So I have a feeling something went wrong with this one. It probably was sitting in someone's closet for a very long time because it stopped working. Still recordable, didn't have the computer interface, but really cool. One thing, like I said, I do love is I love how this thing ejects. It's so satisfying. All right, so these are the small ones that came in. But another thing that came in recently were these other 2 boxes, and I know they're mini discs just from the box, but I don't really know if that's what's in there. I think they are. So this one, I cut it open, but then I realized I need to stop and see what's in here. So big reveal, what is in this box? What's in the box? Wow, this is so cool. Look at this. Blank mini discs, brand new, still sealed, and Sony brand too. That is a find. Oh, and these are Japanese branded ones. These were probably not intended to be sold in the US, I'm guessing. That is amazing. These were probably not manufactured for at least 10 years. This stack here was probably made around 2002, somewhere around there. I don't see a date of manufacture on here, but given Minidisc's life history, that's about when these were probably made. So, wow, that is a good find. You cannot find a stack of 100 blank Minidiscs unopened very much anymore. That's fantastic. Okay. So that's what this MD was. I didn't know if this was an unopened player or what, but I guess if I would have read carefully, it does say recordable mini discs. All right, now this one. This one, if it is what I think it is a recordable mini disc deck unit. The kind that people would put in with their AV system in their house. You know, you'd have your record player, you'd have your cassette player, your CD player, whatever, and this would go in there with the rest of them. Wow, this is, I'm sure it's been opened and used, but it has been taken care of very, very well. It's definitely mini disc. There's the controller. It says mini disc deck on the bottom. It's Sony, which I think is the best brand for mini discs. Oh, it still has the foam protectors. Ah, that is such a good find. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, so I don't talk about it very much on this channel, but I used to work in radio stations, and we used mini discs a lot. In fact, the radio station I used to work at was 550 AM KFYI, and on that radio station, one of the shows we played was Rush Limbaugh, and I was working middays at that radio station, and I was the one responsible for recording the Rush Limbaugh feed from the East Coast and then replaying it in the midday. And what a lot of people would have never guessed is you were not hearing it through a recording on a computer or on some quality tape of some kind. It was mini disc. I was recording Rush Limbaugh on a mini disc and playing it back for the entire Valley of the Sun. And this is the exact same model that I used at the radio station. That is so trippy to see this thing in person now. I doubt it's the exact same unit. What are the odds of that? But wow, what a find. So this is designed to be mounted in a rack system. So this is like studio quality. Let's plug this bad boy in and see if it works. I am so excited to try this thing. All right, here we go. Let's put it down here. Here we go. And I do not have, I need an adapter. Hold on, I got one right over here. Now these use that audiophile type plug. So I got the adapter right here for the same headphones. All right, let's see what we got from Nirvana on this deck. Please tell me it works. Please tell me it works. That's not a good sign. Oh no. This might be why it came to us. Maybe I can help it get in all the way, like it's stuck trying to load. Oh, this one's going to require a little TLC. This one needs a little love to make work. So the more I push in, the more it gets stuck. It's not working. All right, well, we're going to have our engineers figure this one out. I think we're gonna have to open it up and rescue my mini disc. Hopefully we can resurrect this because this is such a cool model, such a good find. And these were workhorses. I mean, I would use this for hours every day, and they lasted pretty well. So this one probably got a lot of usage too, or it got beat up a lot being moved around. I don't know, but oh, what a good find. So that's mini disc, a really cool format that will never make a comeback, but in a few ways it kind of has for some people. There's a genre of music called vaporwave that a lot of people are kind of like trying to resurrect mini disc format on. So if you can find a good working mini disc unit, which as you've noticed, 2 out of 3 didn't work, my odds weren't great, you might have pretty tough time finding a good working one. But if you do, it's a really fun format. Check it out. This has been another episode of Jared's Fun Finds on AZ Strut. Okay, quick update. So I was trying to use the tweezers to get my mini disc back, and I actually ended up pushing it all the way through to the point that it now recognizes the disc. So the eject mechanism might be broken, but it might be able to still read it. Let's find out. Love that display too. Oh, it's gorgeous. You got the text, you got the time and everything. Please play. It plays. Oh, sounds so good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. Okay. Well, then I guess it wasn't a complete loss, but now the problem is, how am I going to get my mini disc back out of there? I have to take it apart. Worth it, though. Worth it.